So good morning and good morning. Well, good evening. Here it's Nityananda's appearance day. Jai. So we've started our day a good way in the association of the devotees. And for Ekadashi and Sevarupa, it's also Nityananda's appearance day. And for you, Varaha is still down in the ocean, or he's probably come out of the ocean because it's evening. It's evening there with you. So I'm sure he's appeared and then destroyed somebody. Which body? Who can say who did Varāhadev kill? Somebody must know. Put up your hand.
Yes.
I think maybe if I could guess, is it Hirakya? It's Hiranyakashipu's brother, right? Hiraksha. Yeah,
okay.
My tongue is.
Well done. Well done. Our newest devotee, our youngest devotee has got the answer. It is correct. It's Hiranyaksha, the twin brother of Hiranyakashipu. And because of that, guess what? Hiranyakashipu was not very pleased. And this also brought on another effect. One activity always produces many results. So then all the children love to hear about Hiranyakashipu, don't they? Jai. No, they don't. Okay, they like to hear about Prahlad Maharaj, the hero devotee, and of course Nrsimhadev, the hero lord of those leelas. Hare Krishna. Yes, so Hiranyaksha was killed by Varāhadev. So half Varaha's appearance, half Nityananda Prabhu's appearance. So either way, it's a good day. And all over the world, good day. Hare Krishna. And Chinmoy, just in case you forget, I've gone through part of the subtitles, and there are quite a few things there. So it does take longer than I expected. I was hoping that it was pretty much close when we get it. But we want to get it close. So just letting you know that it is going on.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Happily. Rupanuga Prabhu, Dandavat, another devotee who does own a house but lives in his car quite a lot. Krishna, Krishna, in the sunshine by the looks of it too. In the sunshine. All right, so let us begin. We're 4 minutes in. Oh, but yes. So we won't go too long today in the sense of within our time period, a little bit less, because also today Goswami Maharaj will be giving a talk in an hour's time, means 54 minutes time, and he'll be in the temple room in Chiang Mai. It's there 11 a.m. So it's going to be getting pretty late in Florida and late-ish on Prem Narayan's boat. Not so late, maybe.
So late.
But Florida will be a little late. And Ekadashi in Tomsk, it'll be just the right time. So let us begin. So first of all, to all the devotees, our obeisances,
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripasindhubhayavacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo,
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And all of us know who is who, so we don't have to formally name in particular. We can say, Jai, wonderful Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Jai, wonderful Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Jai, wonderful Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, and Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai, and Jai Srila Bhakti Thakur ki Jai, and our Sri Guru Vaga ki Jai.
Jai.
And Jai Śrī Varāhadev ki Jai.
Jai.
And Shri Nityānanda Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
Their appearance days. And yesterday, by coincidence, I was invited, a couple of us, we were invited for a home program So we went to Ritu Raj and Krishna Sakhi's home, which is not very far away, but we went there yesterday. And it's not often we see, but yesterday we walked through the door, and there, just inside the room, they had their son. They got a little boy, and his name is Sundar, and they had the globe. You know, when we were young, you used to actually buy physical things in a shop rather than look at them on a screen. And they had the globe of the earth on a stand, you know, a round stand with the globe in the middle. And I saw that, I thought, oh, look at this. This is exactly Varāhadev. He rescued this planet. And when we see all the big universe that is in the sky at night, when we see the universe, we can think this planet is a very small place, a tiny place. But Varāhadev, he rescued that planet. And then on his atlas, on his globe of the world, then it had animals for the different countries. It was for the children. So it had, in Australia, guess what? Kangaroo. In Africa, guess what? A giraffe, you know, things like this in different places. And they had nothing for Italy. That was for an Italian globe, they had no animal for Italy. And then Nityānanda said, oh, that's because the Italians are the animals. That I thought was very unflattering, but he's an Italian, so then I thought, okay, we'll let it be. Anyway, then we saw the globe, and then we reminded like of all the animals, all the life that lives on planet Earth. And this was the pastime of Varāhadev, that the earth had fallen into the depths of the Garbhodaksha ocean. And then Varāhadev, the boar incarnation, then he is accustomed to going into water. And those of you who've been to Vrindavan, and many other places in the world, I don't know how many other places in the world is so evident, but in Vrindavan, they're pigs, but similar family. The hogs are it's very clear to everyone that they are able to put their snout into the water, and somehow or another they find bits of food, bits of rice, bits of this, that, and the other. They're able to find out through the sense of smell underwater what is edible. So anyway, in this case, Varāhadev didn't eat the earth, he came to rescue it, but he found it by the sense of smell underwater. So Jivana, first of all, welcome. We must welcome the devotees with obeisances. Dandavad Jivana. Oh, and Radha Sundari, but she can't hear us yet because the microphones are not yet attached. Yes, welcome Radha Sundari Didi also. And you all know where everyone's from. Jivana's in Silicon Valley, one of the last of our temples to get internet of any, which could do anything more than text. Silicon Valley, where even our temple, even there they had slower internet than Navadip for a long time. Yes, wonderful place, Silicon Valley. And Radha Sundari from Navadip, Gupta Vrindavan. So welcome. So we were mentioning about Varāhadev, because Varāhadev, he rescued the earth. But in the chapter in Srimad Bhagavatam in Canto 3, there is a chapter which is entitled, more or less, Varāhadev appearance to save the world, something like that. So it's an interesting idea. People are always saying, oh, we need to save the world. So they'll think we're rather extreme if we say, well, we'll call on a big hog to save the world. They'll say, oh, you Hare Krishnas, what are you talking about? We'll stick to what we can see, to what we can touch. Anyway, the descriptions in that chapter of the Bhagavatam are very sweet, because the boar, okay, first of all, his appearance. Well, Sevarupa knew that he appeared in order to do different things, but one was in order to kill the demon Hiranyaksha, but maybe Sevarupa knows, how did Varahadev appear? How was he born in this world? Okay, put up a hand if anybody knows how he appeared in this world, Varahadev. No, okay. Then I'll put up my hand. Because it is one of the ones when we hear, we do kind of remember. Because how is he born? He's born out of the nostril of Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma was busy creating. This is his role, his savor is he's busy creating in the universe. And while he was busy doing his savor, then the earth fell into the ocean. The ocean means not the ocean on the earth, of course, because it can't fall into its own ocean. But the earth fell into the Garbhodaksha ocean, which is the ocean on which one of the Lord Vishnus is lying. No, Vishnu's lying on the Kshirodaksha ocean. Okay, I have a question for Madhusudan. Is any Vishnu lying on the Garbhodaksha ocean? Now there's an interesting question. And I see Praneshwari already working it out. Anyway, let us see. But he fell into the Garbhodaksha ocean. If we'll figure out about if Vishnu is lying on there or not presently. And then so Brahma's creating, but the earth fell into the water. And then Brahma, somehow he noticed, the earth's fallen into the water. And then he's puzzled. Brahma is trying to work out how to solve this problem. And so while he's thinking about this, then he's meditating. Then mysteriously from his nose, a small boar appeared, which is described as the size of the top of your thumb, the top part of the thumb. So a little boar came out of his nose, the size of the top of the thumb. And then very quickly it started growing and growing, and then became the size of a boulder, a big rock. And then Brahma was puzzled. He's the creator within the universe, but he was puzzled. What's come out of my nose? And then the boar came out, and then he still doesn't know, like, who is this? And he has a little idea, or maybe it's Krishna. Something in the background from his heart is saying, maybe this is the Lord. And then he saw the boar start, grow and grow and grow. And then he's in the sky and with his tail. And boars do have a little tail. And Sevarupas in South Africa, I'm sure you've seen them in the wild there. They got tusks on the front, and they got a little tail at the back. And they say with that little tail, when he flaps his tail, then the clouds are scattering in the sky. So it gives us some idea. This was not an ordinary boar. And then anyway, all this went on. And then the boar dived, or in American, I think, dove into the Garbhodaksha ocean. And then with his front, well, they're not hands, but they're front trotters. Then he pushed open the ocean, like he split it apart. The two big, must be tsunami kind of waves must have taken place. And then he dived into the bottom of the ocean. And there, even though it says, even though the ocean, the Garbhodaksha ocean is unlimited, still he found the limits of the unlimited ocean and found the earth lying there in the bottom, discovering it with his snout. Then he brought it out on his two tusks, put the earth back in a safe place, and then he shook his fur. But his fur is not fur, because boars have very bristly bristles. In some places they make toothbrushes out of the bristles of a pig, sorry to say. I think they use nylon today instead of the pig's bristles, but there we are. So he shook the water, and then that water purified the universe because it was coming from Vishnu. And it also with something which I had definitely forgotten, but definitely I read it before. Then he turned blue. He turned bluish color. And it was at that point, it says that Brahma got confirmation. This is the Lord. This is Narayan himself come in the form of a boar. And then after drying himself off, after shaking, then he went after Hiranyaksha, and then there was a battle in the sky, and Hiranyaksha became no more. At least his body became no more. We all know Hiranyaksha lived on, because one who is born, he will always exist. Just changes bodies, just like we change our clothing. I wonder where we've read things like this before. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. And to Vrindavan Chandra Prabhu in Ukraine, welcome. I see you've added Ukraine as your title. Then good, then everybody knows where you are. So welcome Vrindavan Chandra Prabhu. So this is Lord Bo. And so his appearance was all part of the Lord's Leela. And all of you know now, headed by Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, the order of the 10 avatars, the Dash avatar. Chinmoy Dev does know, I know, because he volunteered, right? Am I wrong? I
can name some, but I don't think it'd be the right order.
Oh, okay. I thought perhaps, oh, okay. Put up your hand here. Maybe it wasn't in our little gathering we went through. Put up your hand if you know the order of the 10 avatars. Praneshwari Devi, I see no cheating by looking on the screen. Oh, Kumkum knows, and Vrindavan Chandra's. I think he's on his way to work. I know he does know. Oh, yes, he's put up a hand. Right, hiddenly. Oh, Radha Sundari knows too. Okay, Kumkum Didi, you were the first. Please tell us the order of the 10 principal avatars and remind us how to remember the order, because this is back to basics. In one name of this class is back to basics. So tell us how to remember the order too. Kumkum Didi, we need to open your microphone, kindly.
Yeah. I can speak to how to remember much better than I can say them, because the only time I ever really paid attention was when you covered it a couple of weeks ago. So the concept of in the prayer by Śrī Jayadev Goswami, yes. First of all, water, and then land. So in between there's the partial land and water, and then human after that. So first Matsyadev, and then I believe Varahadev comes next, correct? Because he's both water and, pardon? I can't hear, but if there's someone who is certain, please step in.
Yeah. I think Radha Sundari is on a bus.
After Matsya.
Matsya.
Sorry.
Yeah, Matsya is the fish, and then
She's saying Kurma.
Yes, then Kurma. So Matsya, and they say what it is a fish, yes. And then everybody knows. And then Kurma, which is a And then, well, I couldn't actually hear what you said, Radha Sundari, but yes, the next one is
turtle. Is it turtle? Kurma? Turtle.
Yeah, Matsya, Kurma, and then Varahadev. Yeah, so we're in the right theme.
Okay.
And Varahadev is an animal goes into the water, then half animal and half man. Who would that
Nrsingadev.
be? Nrsingadev, yeah.
And then
Then,
full
a, bit,
humans,
then a
right?
little man.
Yes, dwarf, Vamana. And then is Parsharam?
Yes, then it goes in sequence as we've heard from the Bhagavatam, etc. So Parashuram, then look, Radha Sundari's put a picture of a turtle, icon of a turtle. Parashuram, then Ramachandra.
Ramachandra,
Yeah.
Balaram, and Kalki.
Balaram, then Buddha.
Buddha. Balaram, then Buddha, then Kalki. A very bad job I did.
Oh, it's okay. And you got the principle, which is there. So if we count them off, then who else put up their hand, though? Somebody else put up their hand. Vrindavan Chandra put up his hand, I know, but he's probably He's probably in his car going to work. It is possible. Somebody else put up their hand. I saw 3 hands. Oh, it was Radha Sundari, yes, but she's on the bus. It's difficult to hear. So number 1, the fish, the Matsya. Number 2, the turtle, Kurma. Number 3, the animal now coming from like in the water to the, I know the turtle goes in and out, but he's more in the water. Then more out of the water is the boar. So Varahadev is number 3. Then from animal to man, the transition is half man, half lion, half animal and half man, means Nrsingadev. Then a little man, Vamanadev, the dwarf. And then we start in sequence with Parashurama, Ramachandra, Balaram, Buddha, and then yet to come in this time, but our number 10, Kalki. Hare Krishna. You know these Ekadashi? You do? Okay, very good. So this is the day of Varahadev's appearance for the eastern side. Means it was up until a few hours ago. So here, and now here is Nityananda's appearance day, and Nityananda's appearance day. Really, this is a wonderful day, and both of these days are good days to start something in the calendar. Whatever other astrological signs may be in the calendar, then the appearance of Varahadev just eclipses. So even if it's an eclipse, Varahadev's appearance eclipses any other good or bad qualities astrologically of a day, and Nityananda's eclipses like everything for his appearance. So if you have a guilty conscience about something devotional that you haven't been doing, but you should have been doing or needed to start some service in relation to devotional service, these 2 days are very good. And I mean, we're not astrologers, but still Gurudev, he would choose to begin something. He would try to choose a good day. And please don't be sidetracked by astrology or start to take astrology, the advice of an astrologer over the advice of Guru, etc., etc. We unfortunately see that it can happen. So Nityananda's appearance day. So we need to just at least mention a little bit. And maybe for Rupanuga Prabhu, hearing about Nitai and Chaitanya is sort of the next step after hearing about Balaram and Krishna and Radharani and Krishna and Vrindavan pastimes. The next step, and why it's a bit of a step, is because Mahaprabhu's incarnation is hidden. And so it's not immediately apparent, mostly to us when we first join the school of Krishna consciousness, of Bhagavatam, of Bhagavad Gita. It's not immediately apparent necessarily how Mahaprabhu is also Radha Krishna and how Nityananda is also Balaram, engaged in parallel topmost pastimes, but in the mood of distributing what has been shown and what we know exists in Radha, Krishna, Balaram, etc.'s pastimes in Goloka Vrindavan. So the whole world has had the Vedas, the whole world has got so many departments of the Puranas, the Upanishads, and then finally Veda Vyas gave the spotless Purana of Srimad Bhagavatam. And every devotee everywhere relishes Srimad Bhagavatam, and within the chapters and the cantos, sections of Srimad Bhagavatam, then indeed we have the narrations of the pastimes such as Varahadev and Hiranyaksha, the demon, and Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj, and then Prahlad Maharaj, then he, by his surrender, he draws the Lord to appear in this world as Nrsimhadev. So all of these pastimes, including, the creation, Brahma was busy creating, including all the description, these various descriptions about where we live, descriptions of the Lord and his pastimes in the various aspects of protecting the devotees, showing the perfect example, and then finally showing the exclusive example of the highest inner domain of the Lord's loving service in the land of Braja. So Srimad Bhagavatam, the spotless Purana, or the ripened fruit of the Vedas, as Guru Maharaj in a very original expression is giving, the ripened fruit of the Vedas. What has been given before, all is part of the tree of the Veda, but the fruit of that is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Veda Vyas, who compiled the Vedas, by the instruction of Narada Muni, gave Srimad Bhagavatam, but did not give access to the general people except to show the wonderful leela and pastimes, you could say pastimes, of the sadhus, of the saints, of the ascetics, of those who essentially performed great austerities, renounced the world, were very focused in their tapasya, in their generosity, in their perfect example of dharma, so many things in the lives of the saints before. But when we read those, it is almost like reading of an impossible thing. We can't stay underwater for hundreds of years. We can't do austerities as are described by the performers of austerities in the past. But with the advent of Nityānanda and Gauranga, then this is Krishna, Radha, Krishna, and Balaram, who are the heroes of the highest pastimes and who are the beloveds of the highest pastimes. Then they came as Mahaprabhu and Nityānanda in order to, as Guru Maharaj says, break the seal of the container of love of God, which is the highest plane, and to open that jar, to break the seal, open the jar, and then distribute that nectar all over, freely in all directions. And so heading that department is Nityānanda Prabhu, even more merciful than Mahaprabhu himself. And Nityānanda, non-different from Balaram. And Nityānanda, we know that his life was just one of generosity, of affection to the devotees and affection to the non-devotees, understanding that they are potential devotees. Everyone's got a devotee inside of them somewhere, but just that it's covered over either with dust or with rocks or with mountains. And in our case, Gurudev says the Mount, oh, Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, where it's famously, we've heard Gurudev say it many times, but I read maybe in one of the sermons recently, Guru Maharaj saying about the mountain of false ego. And whatever Gurudev says, he's hearing it from Guru Maharaj too, so it's one and the same. But Gurudev telling us, and Guru Maharaj telling us, about how our devotional nature, it is covered by a mountain of false ego. That mountain's a pretty big thing to find a gem which has got a mountain on top. Maybe not the easiest thing to do. But Nityānanda Prabhu, he knows that inside every living entity is that gem. And so he is giving the opportunity to blast away the mountain and to reveal the gem inside everybody. So through his generosity. So it's a wonderful day. And all of you know something about Nityānanda. All of you know something about his pastimes. And if I say the words, Jagai and Madai, you'll all say, yes, 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 yes. We know this. We know Jag. Oh, here's Jayadev Prabhu. And giving some jais. Jai Jayadev Prabhu, welcome. Govinda, Govinda. So if we say, and actually Jagai and Madai, they're also related to Varaha's appearance, because Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu are Jagai and Madai, and are originally and eternally in a position of Jai and Vijay in the spiritual world, the gatekeepers. So this is also, everything has a wonderful Leela behind it. So Jai and Vijay, the originally gatekeepers in the spiritual world, they, by Krishna's arrangement, what's the word? Anyway, they prevented for the 4 Kumars from entering into through the gates of Vaikuntha to go to see Lord Vishnu. And it is the Lord's arrangement that it happened in this way. And so these 4 Kumars, they look like young boys, like practically like babies. So we are told, I haven't met them, but we're told they look like young boys. And even though they are Lord Brahma's sons, they are like the oldest. They were born so long ago, but because of their purity and because they have a very clear vision of the material creation, and they can see heaven and hell, they can see the earth, they can see everything. Anyway, they are completely innocent, clean in their heart, and so behaving like young children. And they went to go to see Vishnu, and Jai and Vijay barred their way, saying, you kids, you can't just walk in through the door and go and see Vishnu. No, remember, Narayan Vishnu is very kingly. He has a throne. He has so many servitors. He's in opulence, royal dress. And these 4 young boys come. And anyway, Jai and Vijay, the gatekeepers, prevented them from going. And then those boys said, oh, okay, if it is your wish, but we are not very happy about you preventing us from going, so we're going to curse you. And then when they were cursed, then, oh dear. And then Narayan himself came and he said, oh, Jai and Vijay, don't worry, don't worry. These young Brahmana boys, yes, their curse is very powerful, and it must come to be what they are cursing, that you will go down and go down to hell, means the land of birth and death, and suffer there. That's where we are, by the way, the land of birth and death, the land of suffering. So anyway, Narayan came out, and then Narayan Praneshri shared a file. Okay, we'll find out what it was. A mystery. We'll open the package in a minute. And anyhow, Narayan said, okay, the curse must come true, and actually it's happened by my will. So don't feel unhappy, but I give you an option. You can have 3 births as demons opposing me, so I can have a good fight, or you can have, I think it was 10 births as sweet, humble devotees, just like you all. So he gave him that choice, and he said, then they said, oh, we want to come back quickly, not have 10 births and be so long before we see you again. So we vote for taking 3 births as demons. And in this way, we'll come back to you very fast. So this is some background. And then in one of their appearances, then they came as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And actually, this was the last of their... no, it wasn't the last of their 3. The last of their 3 was as Kumbhakana and 2 of the demons, maybe Ravana. I have to do some homework there. Is that right? Yeah, Kumbhakana and Ravana in Ramachandra's pastimes. And in Krishna's pastimes, he came as Shishupal and Dantavakra. 2 demons there are many demons in Krishna's pastimes. He was killing them from the time he was born, or soon after the time he was born. So 2 special demons, Shishupal and Dantavakra. And we did hear recently that Shishupal, he was inimical to Krishna from birth. And then we heard in Goswami Maharaj's class recently, not so long ago, maybe a few weeks ago, about Shishupal. Goswami Maharaj said, he read this somewhere, probably from Vishwanath Chakravarti, because he's a keen reader of Vishwanath Chakravarti's commentaries in Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. And he said that Shishupal, he was so envious of Krishna from birth. He said that usually a baby, when they're growing up, and the mother and father, they're very happy to hear the first words of their child. And their first words are usually mama or papa or something. And then, oh, my child said mama, my child said papa. Oh, they're so eloquent in their speech. And the first words of Shishupal, when he began to speak, was blasphemy of Krishna. So some nasty words against Krishna. That was Shishupal's first words. Hare Krishna. So anyway, okay, so we're getting gently off track, but anyway. So everything is engaged in Leela. So there were 3 births as demons, and everything is very good. And now they can go back to their post, and maybe they even got a promotion when they went back to Vaikuntha. And then when it came from Mahaprabhu's descent, Radha Krishna's descent as Mahaprabhu, then they volunteered. They didn't have to come. They volunteered to take the part of demons again. I suppose they figured, oh, we do this part very well in the play, in the Leela of the Lord as demons. So we volunteer to come as Jagai and Madai. So they voluntarily came as Jagai and Madai so that they could participate in Mahaprabhu's Leela. So they filled in the application form and put down their CV, the jobs they've had in the past, and all these things. So they put down Jai, they put down they didn't put down Jai and Vijay. They were already Jai and Vijay at the time, but they're applying. Then they put down their posts as the 2 demons in Ramachandra's Leela, in Krishna, anyway, the Leela of Varahadev, and then Nrsingadev's Leela. Then they put down the posts in Krishna's Leela, Shishupam Dantavakra, and then anyhow, they had a good CV, so Krishna gave them that opportunity, and they came as Jagai and Madai. And why are we saying all this? Because it was Nityānanda Prabhu, most merciful, that as a big example of the mercy that Nityānanda is saying for the mercy of Mahaprabhu. This is why he gave particular mercy to Jagai and Madai, who were really terrible people in this world holding high government jobs and very badly behaved persons. Everyone was fearful of them. But Nityananda thought, okay, it'll be to the glory of Mahaprabhu if we can have Mahaprabhu give his grace to Jagai and Madai. And then this Leela, you all know to some extent. And it is wonderful Leela. And incidentally, the Jagai and Madai pastime, excuse me, is mentioned certainly, is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But keep in mind the Krishnadas Kaviraj. He does repeatedly say what has already been described by Vrindavan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Whatever's been described there, I'm not going to repeat all of this, but I'll add some part that he may have not mentioned, or I'll just give a brief summary for the purpose of the Leela. So he's always referring us to Chaitanya Bhagavat. And about Jagai and Madai, the description in Chaitanya Bhagavat is more extensive than in Chaitanya Charitamrita. We think, oh, we've got everything in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which we do have, but we have more extensive, and really some is, I mean, humorous, because we're not under the wrath of Jagai and Madai. We're not there, but I mean, really wonderful description in Chaitanya Bhagavat of Jagai and Madai's Leela. But, okay, keeping back to the point, today is Nityananda's appearance day, and it is Nityananda Prabhu. Ultimately, we find that his glories are being shown in this Leela, even though he is trying to do everything for the glories of Mahaprabhu. Okay, now I'm going to open the present that Praneshwari has shared with us all and see the 10 avatars of Lord Krishna, okay? And then Kanupriya Devi Dasi, February. Click to download. I wonder what's in this package. It's got a strange wrapper. It's got a strange wrapper on it. And what's above? Oh yeah, the turtle of Radha Sundari. Praneshwari, welcome, wonderful technology. And Radha Sundari, Dandavat, we are in the bus. Okay. And we've got Chintamani now with Jayadev Prabhu, I see, on the side screen. And Narayani Nadia Devi Rasi, Narayani, Hare Krishna. In the dark, in a cabin in the woods, perhaps, with a candlelight, just like Navadip. Hare Krishna.
It's very similar to it. Dandavat.
Yes, and you remember in Navadip in the evening, sometimes we would have a candle. Be using the computer and have a candle beside the computer because it was brighter than the lights. That was Navadip from Narayani's time, even though she's still only 21. Kanupriya Devi Dasi, presents this Saturday, telling the story of Jagai and Madai. Okay.
I forgot to send it to you, sorry.
Okay, but this is for everybody, and the beautiful, not actually, is it a lotus? It's a lotus-like, but it's not actually lotus, it's a lily.
Looks like.
But it's almost like a lotus-ish, reminding us. And Varuna is here.
Varuna is one of our weirdos that we cast out the net of Lord Gauranga's mercy, and he has caught the net. So he's our dear friend. He's born in South India, or South India and then American. Jai Varun.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
You've been caught in Jayadev's net and the internet, and you've been caught by a good net because there's all people fishing in the ocean. This net is Nityananda and Gauranga's net. May not be so familiar, to you, but South India, at least Bangalore, and there are various places where we see the names of Nityananda. I've seen like the Nityānanda pharmacy and places like that. So the name not exactly unknown in South India, though
Yes.
you may say Bangalore and Hyderabad is not South India. Where are you from in South India?
My family's from Hyderabad.
Oh, you're from Hyderabad?
Yeah, that's where I was born.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know Hyderabad a little bit. I mean, a little bit. We've done Harinam Sankirtan in Hyderabad. We've been with devotees in Hyderabad.
Yes.
If anybody wants to know what Hyderabad is like, it's like every other city in India. You can hear the music of the horns of the cars day and night.
Yeah, very crowded.
Very crowded city, yeah. All right. Okay, anyway, time is running by, and I do want to end just a few minutes early because we're going to transition into Thailand talk. And maybe, Praneshri, do you have that URL of Thailand? I do.
Yes, Maharaj. It's on Bhakti Connect already. If you need it now, yes, I can put it here.
Just
Yes,
pop it in
Maharaj.
because you're an efficient
Sure.
captor.
Absolutely. Here.
All right. So Kyla's getting ready for school, maybe. Kyla, are you going to school today?
Yes, Maharaj.
All right. Very good. So you're going to school. We are also going to class. We are also going to school. We're going to go to hear from Thailand. We're not going to hear from Thailand. We're going to go to the temple in Thailand and we sit and be good students to hear from Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj. Appearance of Nityananda Prabhu, grand festival. Oh yes, the grand festival. Also, yes. The Eka Chakra, yes, Eka Chakra. Wonderful place, with the place of appearance of Nityananda. Today is Nityananda's appearance day. And actually, everything about Nityananda that we like remember and the place of his appearance, all extremely sweet topics, wonderful memories. And Eka Chakra, I did not have any service to go to Eka Chakra for many years. And in fact, I first went to the temple in India in 1982, but I didn't get to go to Eka Chakra until 2011. 2011, the installation day of, or this very day, the installation day of Shri Guru Gaura Nityananda in Eka Chakra. And wonderful place. Still, it is a village, actually village, just a few houses, mud huts, one road that goes from somewhere to somewhere, which is a small road. And then the road that you turn off. When you're going on the map, you can search on Google where is somewhere and where is somewhere. So when you turn off the road that goes from somewhere to somewhere, then you're on just a very little road that goes past the appearance place of Nityananda. And then just how many meters, who's been there? 244 meters further on in the rice fields is our beautiful temple in Eka Chakra. And Gurudev was very happy. He said, at the end of my life, Gurudev saying, the end of my life, then somehow I'm fortunate to get some service to Nityananda by establishing our Sri Chaitanya Sarasatma at Eka Chakra. And the installation of the deities happened exactly 1 year later. So Gurudev witnessed the opening of the Nat Mandir, and he witnessed that through the internet as we are doing. And we were in Dum Dum Park. Gurudev was in Dum Dum Park with Gurudev. But the Nat Mandir was inaugurated on this day, Nityananda's appearance day, of the year that Gurudev disappeared. He disappeared in March and now is February. And then he gave instruction to Acharya Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj, that this day next year, you must have the temple completed and the deities inaugurated. And Acharya Maharaj promised to Gurudev, and his promise wonderfully manifested, and also amazingly manifested. The temple appeared, and not only the temple appeared, but the whole courtyard nicely clean. When I went there on that installation day, it looked just like a brand new clean temple had just, you know, you purchase something in a shop and open the wrapping. Oh, we're opening wrappings today, but you purchase something in a shop, you open it, it's all sparkling clean and it's all perfect. There's no dents or, you know, anything needs completing. You get something complete, already completed. And that temple and the whole compound, the whole place was just so like pucker and perfect. And that temple came, and Nityānanda Chaitanya established there, and Gurudev went to see the manifesting. No, in the earlier time, no. Gurudev gave the instruction for the size of the deities and how the deities will be. And Gurudev gave that instruction, and they are in English or in American. You're still using feet. 7 feet 6 inches is Mahaprabhu, and 7 feet 4 inches tall is Nityānanda. Gurudev gave the measurement in feet and inches. Hare Krishna, and a wonderful temple. So, if any quick question or comment, you're very welcome, but I'm praying that I may take your leave after 3 minutes. Quick question or comment from anybody, please. 3 minutes. Open microphone. Open up your microphone.
Everyone is invited to Chiang Mai. And then after that is a celebration directly in Eka Chakra. The temple is being maintained so beautifully, Maharaj. It's just like from the first year. It's beautiful, clean and lovely, painted, so nice. And the deities are the most beautiful deities in the world. So it's the first time that it's going to be a broadcast from Eka Chakra.
Okay, but where are the most beautiful deities in the world? Chinmoy Dev, who knows? Okay. You are mentioning most beautiful deities of Nityānanda Chaitanya. Okay, the most beautiful deities in the world of Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna, Chinmoy Dev, who knows, because he heard yesterday. Open your microphone, Chinmoy Dev.
In Vrindavan.
In Vrindavan, Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhava Rasa Bihariju in Vrindavan. And Gurudev saying about those deities, he said, these are the most beautiful deities in the world. And I have seen all deities. So Krishna is having a competition with himself of where he's manifesting the most beautifully. And on that score, the Nityānanda deity in Navadip, in Eka Chakra, at the place of Nityananda's appearance, is the best manifestation, the best Nityānanda. You cannot find better than this. That is Gurudev's description of the Nityānanda at Eka Chakra at his birthplace. The Nityānanda Guru Maharaj prayed to for permission, blessing to start Chaitanya Saraswat Mat in Navadip, etc. All right, to be continued, but for the moment, please excuse me, sort of cutting off a little bit. It feels like I'm cutting off a little bit soon, but we've got things to do. So we may see some of you in the link just on the right there, and please, you're very welcome to attend, and I'll also be there. And yes, a full day of programs, and I'm sure for Nityananda's appearance day, everywhere in the East, as well as we are already in the West. Oh no, we're in the East. No, anyway, far West and every West and East, I'm sure everyone will be having a special day for Nityananda. Try to be Nityananda conscious, even if you're, wherever you are, at work or whatever you're doing. Today, try to be Nityananda conscious and then have a Nityānanda feast later on in the day. Jai Srila Gurudev ki jai, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai, Jai Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki jai. To all the assembled devotees ki jai, all the worldwide devotees ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari.
Jai Shri Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Bhai.
Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat Jai Shri Nityānanda Ram ki jai, Shri Ekachakradam ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo, Hari Hari.